The Emerald. On a cardboard box in a bustling street stood a man of many names and shouted of wars and vicious flames, for he had seen darkness being born anew, and seen not few sorrows and troubles of various hue. He had been borrowing rubble to bury it double in the morning dew, for the end of the world he had seen as it happened. Bending the words was a gift from above, a rift not of love but of wisdom, and though cast aside by the system, he was at last outside with the birds, singing swiftly of pride and of those who perished in the storm, to the none among those who would cherish his tongue in the swarm. Though his cries unanswered nobody's question, and his meager arms stretched into many evening skies and morning weather, his mind would not relent, nor his memory fade, nor his heart ever flutter like feather, for he was of lead. And so he bled poison onto the concrete road before him. Behold! It formed a pond that devoured all from box to wicked void, and so trapped the man in place, an evil opioid, and in a brontide state of ponder. He wandered no mile longer, nor saw any stars grow stronger, fought not as his wits were cold, nor as he lost his dearest emerald. For in truth and in matter he was frightened. His fear? Of his father, a titan of silver and gold, who long ago had fought the wars of old, and was terrible to behold on the inside, while his bride was a queen of a land so serene that there stood even the cattle clean. Yet cattle had been more mother than she had ever been. And so fear had settled and turned into maze, and so how to flee it had turned into haze, and hazardous had become his words of wisdom, seething now through rotten wisdom teeth to the one in the world who would listen. He was a pitbull hound that the man once had found, bound in a pit of cold gravel and shrouds of darkness. It had unraveled from its path and bit many a crowds before barks less sent there to linger. And to him the man had lost a finger at least, a fair cost when saving a beast from deadly frost. A foe like such he stood no more, a friend to the closest core of allegiance. While the man faced laughter from the legions and more, the hound listened to all of his lore. He was tied with a leash to a lamppost of shimmering zinc, whose distant light glistened in yellow and of pink as the evening drew near, as the man grew dimmer and bellowed for beer. While the hound was a company better than none, and he knew not how he would have begun to read the sign of the company across the road first, his throat would begin to bleed from pain or drought or thirst. And while his brain's route was eroded and cursed, he would sing a hymn or an ode without having anyone slowed. Gold he had none in his pocket, whose stench reminded of earth, and bold enough to pickpocket for booze he was not even to quench his thirst, not by a little or a lot. None that he owned was to others owed spite, despite his words of warning which he loaned them. Of mourning mothers or waves raging white he moaned on. Yet truth did not seem to matter to any who passed, though their fortune vast and the hat that the man had cast to the asphalt to find in metal or plastic or glass mayhap a treasure. It was not his fault that his wisdom would not be measured, that bottles or coins did not leave hands, that pleasure would not come from preaching nor twaddling enjoins or roaring demands. Roaring was also in his guts, and in the many cuts he had ever felt, from his father and or dealt to himself. They adorned his arms and where his spirit dwelt. Yet spirits plagued him more, and he mourned their absence, for in absinthe was his charms, and so vague was she now seen on that shore that he lost all sense and knelt. La Verte, he prayed then, for so was her name. A stranger to him, though in sadness and kindness united, ere mind was erased or ignited in a day. Her heart shone of purest gold, and so the man would oft behold there a mirror of bright liberation. For in her raven hair and dark shaded eyes he saw a haven, with no despair nor any lies, nor heard the whispers or whimpering cries. An emerald was she, like the liquor that brought her, a vicar, his daughter, a ghost and a martyr. Dead forever, yet glimpsed in the sea, where the man had seen her drown that fateful October, yet could not see more, if ever he became sober, and so verdict was struck, that so also his life was over. He drew then his knife, to end his life, end the years of needless strife, but the fear within them suddenly withered, crawled back from thither, and cracked around her. For in the street stood now many folk, and to meet the man as one they spoke. Be free of pain and poisoned woe, till rain destroys and sunders foe, till joy and sunshine ever grow, and in your heart a new love sow. And so, with new hope in his soul, the man arose, and seeing the last gleams of the sun shine up ambrosia and divine rhinestone, he left his own woes and was saved. The green of the one waved, farewell, farewell. And the rose of the many swelled and embraced him and urged him not to run, but to stay and to tell, not of October, but of May. For all together they, nay, we, can save from nether those brave who falls to the ends of the earth. Yet from birth we are taught to dig our own graves and be slaves of a master of a disaster called chosen oblivion. Do not ignore the stranger. Do not set up high walls. Instead now be a ranger. Explore his vast mine and embrace his emerald halls.